A Swift Kick in the Ass, episode 146. Life is challenging and difficult. No one gets out alive. Time to suck it up, Buttercup. Get ready for a monster-sized boot aimed to help you get traction on personal change and get living. I am John Curran, your host. Join me as I share my journey exploring the forces that motivate us to change and help us get through whatever life throws at us. A swift kick in the ass. Life on your terms. Welcome to another episode of A Swift Kick in the Ass. This is your host, John Curran, and today's episode, Lives Sitting Down. I want you to picture this. So you're in New York City or some other huge city, metropolitan area, and it's rush hour. You're on a crowded sidewalk. Perhaps you're heading home from work, or maybe actually better, you're going to work, and it's cold, and it's bitter, and it's snowing, and it's just terrible weather out, terrible conditions. It's icy out, and you slip and you fall right on your ass. What do you do? Now, I want you to just kind of hold that thought about what you would do, and thinking about how you're shivering, and how you're feeling, and how your ass hurts. Because it's no fun to fall on the ice. You might even need medical attention. But, so kind of hold on to that. But then transport yourself to some other location. It could be maybe a less crowded sidewalk, or maybe you're out in a park, and it's just a beautiful garden that you're in. And it gets a little bit slippery, and you fall, and you fall right on your ass. And maybe it's just on the grass. Maybe it doesn't even hurt your bottom. Same kind of question, what do you do? But keeping these two kind of situations in mind makes you realize that the same kind of thing happens, but you have a different response to what happened. And that's kind of natural and acceptable, and that's the way we deal with things, right? So this is not to criticize how you would respond. It's rather to get you to think about how you would respond, and then point out that there are different views and different ways to look at things. Now, if you're from the school of hard knocks, you might, consider yourself to be pretty tough, and your life experience has kind of taught you how to react in this situation. Going back to slipping and falling on your ass. Your life experience up to this point is going to, as I said, dictate your action. It's going to dictate your perception. It's going to dictate what you do, how you feel, how you look at things. Again, not to criticize, just to point out that your life experience contributes to how you react to life's situations and circumstances. So I recognize a lot of us, this has happened to us before. And in fact, this is probably not your first time that you've slipped and fallen on your ass. In fact, I know I've slipped and fallen on my ass so many times, it actually hurt my tailbone, and that's one of the reasons why I've had to go to the chiropractor so much and had lower back pain issues. And we all know that when you're in pain, you know, what that does to us and how it can change our view of life. Like everything just kind of closes in around us. So take ourselves back to the streets of New York. You're falling on the ice. It's slippery. You're sitting there on your ass. Your ass hurts. People are all walking around you. You might even be in danger because people don't see you. They're just going to trample right over you. And then you're really, really screwed. Again, life-threatening situation to kind of picture yourself in. You know, what would you do? All of us, I think, would do, no matter what situation is, no matter what the situation is, if you fall down, first thing you're going to try to do is protect yourself from injury. So you're going to defend yourself and do whatever you have to do. And that becomes your number one priority. And if you're in pain, it becomes even more crucial to you. You know, we've all been in pain before, and we all know how that can cloud our vision and how that just becomes like, I got to take care of this. This is maybe not life-threatening, but it hurts like hell, and I got to do something immediately. Well, that plays out on the world, and people see that. So I want you to remove yourself for a minute and kind of pull yourself up out of this situation, thinking as a individual or from a personal perspective. And I want you to kind of rise above that crowd and take a bigger picture of that crowd. And what you'll probably see is you're going to see that there are other people who are facing the exact same weather. They are in the same circumstance. They're dealing with the same conditions. Maybe they have a nicer coat. Maybe they don't. Maybe they have that cold weather gear, so they're dealing with the weather better. Maybe they don't. But again, take yourself up, rise out of that individual perspective, think about the crowd, and you're going to see others who have fallen and people who are reacting to whatever they're going through. And I think if you look at our society these days, unfortunately, there are a lot of people who have just chosen to keep their ass sat down. They've been kicked too many times before. They simply just don't want to deal with it again. So they live their life with their ass just grounded right there, and life moves on around them. Sometimes they're in the way of others, but doesn't bother them. They sit there and they just deal with it, right? And they say, woe is me. Maybe they're even cursing because, they're in pain, or maybe they're blaming others. They haven't even tried to get up, but they're blaming others for why they fell down. And when you look back, they actually fell down quite a long time ago, maybe before you were even born. And now you're just in their kind of vicinity, kind of paying the price. Or maybe they're embarrassed. Maybe they're too embarrassed to ask for help. But, there's all different ways. Again, these are real things that happen to us. We all fall in life. We all slip up. We all, things happen to us. But not only do they happen to us, but they happen to others as well. We all kind of share in this life, in this world, and we're all a part of each other's terms. So this podcast really is about, that kick in the ass that gets you thinking. And I have to say that my life, honestly, it's kicked me in the ass recently. As much as I talk about these things, I really do hold them to heart, and I want to live my life that way. So recently, you all know that I have, I'm married, I have kids. One is in college right now. She's nearing the end of it. The other's in high school, going on 35, seems like. And then I have my son, Johnny. Life has kind of kicked my ass. And all these changes with my family and trying to provide for my family have been a huge challenge for me. So what have I been doing? I've been really just sitting down and getting down to business, getting things straightened out, getting things dealing with my terms, and so I can get up and stand up and start running again, really. So it's really got me thinking about how this happens to a lot of people. Situations happen. Maybe they have medical bills. Maybe they've had, a slip up that unfortunately they're not going to get up from. Kind of a terminal slip up like that happened to Tommy. Unfortunately, this is part of life that we have to come to accept in our own way. But we shouldn't let that stop us from living our life. It shouldn't force us to sit down and accept things for the way they are at that moment. It's up to us to get up off of our feet, make that choice, make that decision, stand up. And only you can do that. So don't live a life sitting down. Get your ass up. Get moving. And really, if you keep on falling down, keep slipping, keep falling on your ass, maybe it's time to change your environment. Maybe it's time to get out of that cold weather and the cold winter with the ice and move to someplace warm. But I'm going to tell you now that even when you do that, some things will be better. You won't have to deal with the ice. You won't have to deal with the cold weather and the snow. But it does get slippery in warm climates as well. And there are other dangers that you have to live with. Other things that can find yourself, on your ass again. So, keep going. Keep kicking. But get up and live your life. So, until the next time, this is John Curran. This is your Swift Kick in the Ass. Have a great day. Peace. This marks the end of another episode of A Swift Kick in the Ass, placing it directly in the can. As much as I like to talk, even I have my limits. It's time to go. Catch me on the next show. For better or worse, whether you like us or not, please leave comments wherever you get your podcasts. Follow us on Twitter. Visit our home on the interweb. I think you can leave me a voicemail there. You can also email me at john at aswiftkickintheass.com. It's been my extreme pleasure. I hope you got a lot out of it. I hope you got your ass moving. Until then, until the next time, I'm out of here. Peace.